Calle Noelia Afonso Cabrera. Calle Noelia Afonso Cabrera. Got some fantastic names for the streets. I think they name it after family members, to be honest with you. How we doing morning? Hope you're doing okay. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. It's not 9 a.m. It's about half 10. About half 10 today, Sunday morning. I've been up very early because I went to bed very early. It was Shelley was working yesterday afternoon, and we met up with a load of people that we've met through YouTube. And there was about 7 or 8 of us that went down to see her, and we had a great afternoon. But because I only had 5 hours sleep the day before, I knew I was always going to be early to bed, so I was in bed by 9 o'clock last night. Tucked up after a very nice afternoon, my day off, and tucked up by 9 o'clock, which means by 4:30 this morning I was wide awake, drinking coffee, reading my phone, in bed just chilling. And then at 5:30 the dog decided he wanted to go out for a wee. So I was up at 5:30 with him, outside, got back into bed, tried to sleep a bit longer, but the dog was just like, the dog's claws over the tiles because he's up then, walking around just keeps me awake. So in the end I decided around about 7:30 to get up and to go and take him in the sea for a swim. Apparently dogs aren't allowed on the beach in Cayo Salvaje, but before 9 o'clock they're look at that, that's alright, look at that, that's a nice one, it's better looking than mine, Django. Before 9 o'clock, I always remember there was a greenkeeper once in Holland, and we had to take a tree. He had to take a tree down because I can't remember what it was. And somebody said, "Do you not need a license for that?" He went, "You don't need a license at night." And I remember that now with the dog. You don't need a license at night. It's not doing anybody any harm. Unlike the person who's chopped down the tree, the sycamore near Hadrian's Wall. What was that about? It's like, who'd do that? Why would you want to do that? And it's got a perfect chainsaw cut across, and it's got a white paint along the line that it's going to do it, and then they're trying to blame it on a 16-year-old kid? Nope. Don't agree with that. I don't think that's the case at all. Something untoward there, I think, but I don't know what it is. So anyway, Sunday morning, just been dropped off by Shelley. We've just been for breakfast actually. We went to the Olive Garden for breakfast. And if you like sweet pancakes, I'll tell you, they're about that big, fluffy, they're good. Give them a go, they're really worth it down there. I had the small breakfast. I love this area, I love the buildings here, I love the colour. The way they've done them colours on that building just make it, probably gives it a really nice vibe, doesn't it? Really pretty. So I'm making my way over, down to the sea, because I've just been dropped off. The funny thing is, my bike was actually parked near the Olive Garden, and I just said to Shelley, I said, just leave it, I'll walk back. I think I'll cut through actually. I said, I'll walk back. So drop us off and I'll walk back and get my bike, because that way I can do this as well. I'll get it edited, most probably get it out tonight maybe. And that's my Sunday sorted, I think, because I'm working tonight. I knew what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about, there's something quite interesting actually. I wanted to talk about, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but I wanted to talk about the class system and the opportunities of when it comes to the class system, and how now I'm going to be, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll start from the beginning. When I was born, I think, if we're talking about a class system, I think I was born into lower middle class. You've got lower class, middle class, upper class, and then you can break those classes down, I think, lower middle. This is where my nan lived, so this is a sort of housing in Manchester, a place called Fallowfield, Rusholme, is where my nan lived. So it gives you a bit of an idea of the sort of background I had. This is the house that I was in lower middle, actually I was in lower middle class, and then by the age of about 4, obviously, I think through jobs and stuff like that, we moved into a house here in Northenden, and I think from there, I think we've moved now from lower middle class into middle class, I think that's the only way to explain it. As growing up, still with the mentality of the family, because you don't know as a kid, do you? You don't realise that I was never destined to go to university. because even though I think I most probably might have made it, I don't think that path was ever set out for me. I ended up leaving school at 15. I had 4 GCSEs, English, maths, geography and German, I believe. Yeah, German. Never really went to Germany except when I lived in Holland and went across. So it's never really held me in good stead. So I left school when I was 15. I was destined to go into the golf. Since the age of 11, nothing ever changed from that. I don't know if I told you at the age of 11, I used to caddy for Sir Matt Busby for a year. I did it for a year, every weekend. Didn't know who he was, just called him Sir Matt. He played with his son Sandy, and he played with all these United stars. That's the reason why I'm a Red, really, because I never really got into football, but then I just got that, and it was like, oh yeah, I'll be a Red. So I was destined at a young age, at about 14, I went, I want to be a pro golfer. I just worked and worked to get into that area of being able to do it. So the path of university was never put in my way. And because of that, now when I look back at my age now, I think with the experience or with the intelligence that I have now, because I think I'm quite intelligent, but just I think I'm curious for knowledge. I think that's what it is, and I think university at that age would have given me that knowledge and given me that opportunity to build on that knowledge. You know what I mean? So without having that opportunity, in the last couple of years, as I told you before, moving off mainstream TV and moving now into like YouTube over the last 2 years, since COVID at least anyway, and then starting to realise that when you were younger, we had 3 channels that just went into 4 channels. Channel 4 was just coming along. You believed the narrative from the BBC, you believed the narrative from the ITN News. That's dangerous. There's a grid there. Don't stand on that one, by the way. I nearly went straight down it. A lot of people around here. Go around this way. So, just get past. You believe the narrative because nobody else is there to tell you that narrative's not real, so you believe it, which I did. So in the last 4 years, I think 5 years, that I've started not to wake up, but to question the narrative, and then to believe that there might be an ulterior motive to a narrative. So this is nice, isn't it? Still very pretty. This area is really nice. Hard Rock Cafe. You get a lot of people booking in at the Hard Rock Hotel and they think it's here that they're staying here, and it's not, because the Hard Rock Hotel's near me, about another €30 in a taxi. And then they make a mistake. Fountains are on as well, across the road. It's pretty. So you believe the narrative, and it's only now you start questioning the narrative. And a lot of stuff that's been going on. I mean, like the Russell Brand story is just one of it, but you know, remember David Icke, and it's just people that have been silenced, I suppose. And at first I was told David Icke's a nutter, and I believed it, because that's what you do, you believe the narrative. But now when you look back on it and you go, hang on a minute, a lot of the stuff he's saying at the moment seems to make sense. You only need to throw a couple of things in there that make him sound like a nutter to make everything, to quash all his ideas as wrong. And it's led me to a point now where the last 2-3 weeks I've decided I'm going to get the app audiobooks. What are they photographing? Oh, them. Get the app audiobooks, because one of the books that that keeps coming up, or one of the phrases that keeps coming up, and one of the sentences that I keep hearing is about George Orwell's 1984. George Orwell's, it's like the dystopian world of George Orwell, 1984. It's coming to life. It's reality now. And because I'm not the educated man I am, I've never read it. never read Shakespeare, never read it 1984. I've made a pact with myself that because I walk the dog and I'm out every hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, I'm going to get the audiobook and download it and listen to it while I'm walking the dog. So I'm going to educate myself. So my curiosity for knowledge is enough for me to go, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And that's the next step. By the way, this is the Med Palace. Some people are asking how it's going on. You can see from here, it's a long way from getting finished. If you look over, there's still a lot of work going on. Still a lot of work going on there. A lot of work to be done, isn't there? But what they tend to do around here, in this island, is you look at it and you go, that's never going to be finished in a week. And then, poof, they bring in a load more buildings, and before you know it, poof, it's done. So, it could be done soon. Have you read 1984? Is it worth it? Well, it's too late, because by the time I start reading the comments, I must probably already have started it. I've had a look through the audio books, and it says that, is it Peter Capaldi? He's one of the Doctor Who's. He's done the audio book. I don't think I've got time to sit down and read with all the stuff that I like to do when it comes to editing, etc. But I think I've got time to walk with it in my ears. I don't want to. That's one of the weirdest bits about YouTube, is that when you take up any other hobby alongside of it, it's going to take away the time from YouTube, and I don't want to do that because I quite enjoy doing what I do. So that's what it is. So yeah, I think if I'd have had the opportunity, if I'd have come from a different class system, I don't know. But that was the other thing about classes. It was like, at what point do you accept the class you're in? At what point do you go, okay, this is it, and you relax? Or is it just me? That goes, no, I need to better it. I need to better myself. I mean, my kids have gone to, well, one of them went to university. Both had the opportunity to go to university. One actually went. 3 A levels, 9 GCSEs, went to university. It didn't suit her, which is fine, but at least she had the opportunity to go as far as she wanted to go. That opportunity that I never had. So yeah, I think the idea is when you want to do better for your kids than you did for yourself, I think in that sentence I've achieved it. My other one is still, she's gone to college now, doing acting, so she's discovering a passion that she's got, which she really does find, she really enjoys it. So now it's just trying to get her on the correct path. But at what point do you go, okay, so this is the class? I mean, there'll be maybe people watching this now who are upper middle class. You might be upper class, you might be loaded. It's just financial dictate what class you're in, purely financial? Don't know about that one. So, but anyway, I just wanted to let you know I'm going to read 1984 really, but the reason why I'm going to give it a go. I've been listening a lot of podcasts about cosmologists, about space, about the Big Bang, about Brian Cox's theories. Is it Neil Tice deGrasse? I think his name's that. The American version of Brian Cox, I suppose. deGrasse. It's a Dutch name actually. I can't remember why I can't work it out. So I've been listening to a lot to that and enjoying a lot of it. So much so that then I've also, as I say, you know what I'm like with my conspiracy theories. And I think it's the conspiracy theories that's the ones that's on this side that's getting me to the point where I'm thinking, yeah, I want to have a look at that. I want to have a look into this George Orwell 1984 and see what it's all about. So I'll let you know. I've got to tell you, I'm not sure if we're maxing out on our subscriptions because at the moment we're growing very, very slowly at the moment. The channel is growing slowly, so I think we might hit the peak at 3,063 or something like that. I think we only had 57 new subscribers in the last 28 days. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much. Thanks for subscribing. If you'd like to consider subscribing, see if if we've not hit the peak, and you're a watcher who hasn't subscribed, give it a go. Might be worth it, With that in mind, I'm going to carry on my walk back to my bike. As always, you know what to do. Enjoy your day, guys. All the best. Let me know if you've read 1984. I really appreciate it. And see what you think, okay? Catch you on the next one.